London Jen here with another Jen O'Clock News snippet. Now we're talking bill collector today, who recently signed a 2-year deal to return to URL, 2-year contract, but he's not happy with the way the league announced the news. He thinks it was done to spite RBE. RBE, ARP had put out a blog talking about his issues with contracts, and shortly after that, URL announced they've signed 4 returning battlers to the league on 2-year contracts. Bill was in Doc Petty's spaces yesterday. Shout out Doc Petty. Make sure you're following him on Twitter. And Caffeine always got some lit conversation. And he had some things to say about the contract. We got a clip of it, so let's listen to that and come back and see what we think.
I didn't like that tweet
Oh, you ain't like it for real? Why?
because that wasn't right fucking business, in my opinion.
Okay, okay.
Why is that anybody's business? And plus, the tweet was a smite tweet. Like, don't use me to spite somebody. Don't use
Mm,
me
Yeah, so
for.
I didn't view it that way, but I hear you now. Absolutely.
yeah, I didn't view it that way either. So
Well, it looks wild
But
when
but but it
at
says a
one.
lot, but it says a lot about your collegiality too, like how you view,
It dropped the same day ARP dropped the blog on
It
contract.
dropped moments after
Yeah,
AirP dropped
that
that
was
blog.
wild. That was wild. Because
I
then,
woke up to all of this. I woke up to all of it. Fresh out of surgery, I wake up to my business being blasted on the internet to counter something that was posted on the internet. Like, so when I said what I said about not being signed for a certain amount of time, it kind of caused the issue because it's like, yo, don't do that because then other people gonna be worried about their time. But whole thing was don't do that shit initially. It should have never been out there. Feel me? For me to have to say
consume,
that. You know what I'm
but
saying?
not to consume, right?
Yeah, so that's where that went. Plus, when that tweet went out, my 2-year shit wasn't official yet. So it was like, what? We didn't
Mm-hmm.
sign for an amount of time. We just signed specific battles. We turned it into a 2-year because the the layout of the battles, it makes more sense to just lock in for a certain amount of time. Plus, I really don't have no intention on working with anybody else. I had no intention on battling, period.
The blog that he was referring to from ARP was ARP basically talking about flaws in contract, and he mentioned some specific points, centering mainly around guarantees, contracts, signing contracts without certain guarantees of opponent, of what sort of event you're going to be on, when the contract ends, and money guarantees. Now, funnily enough, the URL put out the information via Let's Talk Battle Rap rather than an announcement themselves, which I thought was interesting. And they mentioned time guarantee. Obviously, they're not going to talk about money guarantee, but they also very quickly after that talked about some potential opponents for these guys, or at least put out tweets saying, who do you want to see them against? JC, Rum, Chiller, Rock, Fonz, Easy, Sheed, T-Top, Luke Astro. These were some of the names they were mentioning. Big names. And then right after that, you got a huge announcement. Bill Collector battling Rum Nitty on Traffic. Big look, top opponent. Bill Collector is saying, you did all of this, or this was done in retaliation to that blog to answer some questions. Obviously, URL and RBE kind of intensifying their back and forth subliminally of late. Maybe this is part of that. Let me know what you think in the comments.